Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm PCmoses, and welcome to another video. Today's topic is going to be why you should stop using Windows. So, over the past couple of years, Windows has gotten to be a lot slower and has a lot more bloat on it, and it also has gotten some pretty not so good stuff added into it, such as telemetry and stuff like that. So what bloat essentially is just extra applications on the operating system that you don't really use a whole lot. And so just having less of these apps is better off for your system, so it's not just sitting there taking up space and slowing down your computer. So back in like Windows 7, stuff like that, it was still pretty good. You could do a lot more stuff with it and need less high performance hardware to I guess continue to use your computer. But now that we're in Windows 10 and 11, they've gotten pretty bad, I would say, and I'd think that there are better solutions out there that is free to use, and so I'd like to share that with you guys. So another reason why you should stop using Windows is they are very so I feel like to use a lot of the tools that they have for you, so like Microsoft Office is just an Office suite of tools for editing Word documents, creating, slideshows, video editing, bunch of different stuff, editing PDFs and whatnot. And Microsoft charges you a lot of money to have these tools and use them professionally. And I feel like, there's better options out there that are free and open source and are better to use than what Microsoft has been offering for a long time. So my solution to all this is to switch over to a Linux operating system. Some reasons why I would say we should do that is because Linux is fast and lightweight, so it doesn't come with a bunch of bloat loaded on it from the get-go, and it also allows for you can use older hardware with Linux because it's lightweight. If you have super old hardware with let's say 1 CPU and like 2 gigs of RAM or something like that, you would still be able to load Linux on there and run it pretty easily with no problems. So this allows you to keep using your current PC or your older hardware that it might have been outdated because of the bloat that has come with Windows 10 and 11. So other reasons why you should use Linux, it's highly customizable. You can choose a lot of different desktop operating systems. That's not the proper term for it, but we're going to go with that. And Linux also does not have telemetry in it. It doesn't harvest your data and sell it and stuff like that, like Microsoft does. So yeah. All right, we're gonna switch over here to this desktop. So here I'm using Nobara Linux. You just don't really need to know that, but I've been using Linux for quite a long time, and I believe that this is the solution to a lot of you guys' problems. So what I suggest you do is go over to go to your web browser or whatever, go to Chrome or Firefox or something, or Edge if you're on Windows. You can go into search and just look up Linux Mint. So this is one flavor of Linux that you can use. And so you can go to the home page, and this is Linux Mint. So Linux Mint is a pretty straightforward, easy to use Linux operating system that comes with a desktop and pre-installed apps, stuff that you can use. So in order to switch from Windows to Linux, you're going to need two things. You're going to need the Linux Mint ISO. So go down here and click Linux Mint in the downloads. And then this is their main edition right here is a Cinnamon edition. That's just a type of desktop. You also have XFCE. If you have like older hardware, stuff that's struggling to keep up, maybe you can try this one. And then you have Mate. It's just a different type of desktop environment, different apps that come pre-installed. For the most part, they're all pretty much very similar, just a couple differences there. But we can go further into different operating systems in another video. So be sure to look out for that in the future. I'll be going over in-depth different operating systems and different stuff like that. So on top of so you'll hit download here and it'll download like an ISO file. You should just do Cinnamon if you're just following along. Another thing you're going to need is something to write that ISO image to a USB stick. So you also need a USB drive, flash drive. Usually 8 gigs is fine. I mean, the Linux Mint ISO is only like 2 or 3 gigs, so if you have a smaller one, it might work, but I think 8 is like recommended. But if you have a bigger one, you can use that also. So go into another search and go to Balena Etcher here, and then you have this website right here, etcher.balena.io. You're gonna go there, and this is essentially what the app looks like. So you can click here, click download Etcher, and then it'll download the package, and you open that and run it installed. Alright, so after you download Balena Etcher and open it up, this is what it's gonna look like here once you load the Etcher. So after loading that, you'll go here, you go to click flash from file, and then you'll go find the Linux Mint ISO. After that, you're going to select target. So this is where you'll pick your USB drive. The USB drive will be what you're putting the ISO on, and after you have both of those selected, you're going to select flash. So once it's done flashing, you'll have your bootable Linux Mint drive, and then this next part is going to be kind of difficult, I guess, if you've never been into your BIOS or anything like that. You're going to have to restart your machine with the USB drive still plugged into it. For the most part, most like Dell machines, or I guess most other hardware, when you restart, you're going to want to mash F11 to bring up what's called a boot menu. So in there it'll show you if you have like USB drives and like different disks and stuff you can boot up from. You're going to want to boot into that drive. So after you hit F11 and get into your boot menu, you select the USB drive, it'll boot up into this. So it'll say Start Linux Mint here. So we're going to go ahead and hit enter on that. And so now we're loading into Linux Mint. So just give it a second to load up here. Alright, so basically Linux operating systems, they load a live disk, so you can honestly go in here and like try it out, try a bunch of different things. Got like your terminal here and different stuff. So what we care about right now is we want to install Linux Mint. So we're going to run the installer here. Alright, and now it'll come here. You got a bunch of different languages. I'm going to pick English. Just hit continue. English US. This is keyboard layout, so if you got different types of keyboard, you go pick yours. I'm going to leave it as the default. Alright, you can install these as just some extra packages used to play video formats and render some websites. If you don't want them, you can skip them, you can install them later. Alright, and so we're going to use erase disk. So this will wipe your whole hard drive. Just know that when you do this, any Windows stuff you have on your hard drive currently, that'll all be wiped and gone away. You can pick something else, and like you can dual boot and do different stuff like that. So if you wanted to keep any files or whatever, I would suggest you reboot, go back into Windows, and download and save any like pictures or files, like documents you want, and keep those for you on like an external hard drive or like a big USB stick or something, depending on how much space you need. But we're just going to go ahead and erase this disk. Alright, so we're going to continue. Alright, now you're going to pick your time zone. I'm in Central here, so Chicago will work. And then name. So you're going to put in your name. So for example, we're just going to do PCmoses. That's me. You can name your computer here. So we're going to do Mint Machine. There you go. And then you can change your username here, set a password, so something super secret here that you want. You can check to log in automatically, so you don't need to put in your password, or just leave it as regular. So every time it boots up, you have to log in. Encrypt my home folder, so you can add encryption to your disk if you want to keep it safe. In case anyone, like if you have a laptop, this might be better, so in case it's stolen, they won't be able to pull the files off without unencrypting. But if it's just like a desktop in your home computer, I would probably just leave it unencrypted. And we are going to be finishing up here. Alright, once it is done installing here, it's going to ask you if you want to continue testing or restart the machine, and then you'll go right into the system. So we're going to hit restart. Alright, it's going to ask you to remove the USB and then hit enter. Alright, now we're loading back into the system. Alright, then you're going to put in your super secret password. After you click on it here. And there you go. So we are back. So this is a little welcome box that's going to pop up every time you boot up. You can uncheck this so it goes away, or leave it checked so it comes back up when you restart. This is just a little walkthrough to kind of show you what's going on. So first steps here, you can choose like a color palette that you want, system snapshots, so those are like backups that you can set up to run, any different number of times. Driver manager, that's going to check for drivers of your machine, your hardware. And then update manager, so you can hit launch here. This will update your machine and also update your apps that you have installed if you need. You got system settings, so you can configure your mouse and keyboard, or if you have like a touchpad, you can configure that. Go to the settings there. Software manager, this is going to be your package manager, so like an app store essentially. Let's just open that real quick. So in here, it's going to be a lot of different apps. So you're going to have like games, production apps like video editing stuff, audio recording software, camera apps, a bunch of different stuff. So I guess that's going to take a second to load. Then you also have your firewall down here if you want to configure firewall rules for stuff coming in and out. Some documentation just kind of goes over, more stuff you can read into if you're stuck on stuff. Got help, so web forums, chat rooms, so this will help you connect with people that are using Linux and can help you with stuff. And then contribute if you want to donate stuff. Most Linux stuff is free and open source, and so if you want to help their cause, that is one way you can help them. So back in here, we got like Visual Studio Code. If you want to write code, you got Skype, FileZilla, file transfer stuff, Dropbox, a lot of popular apps. You got Lutris. This is some gaming software if you want to game on Linux. This looks like a ripoff of Minecraft, I guess, Minetest. But yeah, there's a bunch of different apps in here. You got Blender, 3D modeling, bunch of different stuff. You got Bitwarden, VLC media player. So, and then feel free to look for anything like I don't know. Let's look up Chrome. You got Google Chrome here. You got Chromium. So anything you really think of, it's probably in here. So yeah, so that's how you get into your Linux Mint system. You got your start menu here. This is to power off the machine, log out. You can lock it. And then you got Firefox as your default web browser here. You got the terminal if you know your terminal apps. But here you got all apps here. And then these are like just categories of apps, so like accessories, graphics stuff. Got internet, so you got Firefox here, HexChat, Thunderbird Mail, so this is like a email client and stuff. So yeah, feel free to go look around and figure stuff out. And you got your file system here, so you got your home file here, got your desktop, documents, downloads, music, pictures, typical stuff you have. But all right, I think that's going to do it for this video. We'll be going over in depth how to use other apps here in the future, and if you like what you saw today, I would encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe below. And this is PCmoses signing out. I'm here to set my people free. So thank you and have a good rest of your day.